Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. wind and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Baby, yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Hey, hey, back away. Little bitty boy with a heart of steel, he can boogie on, but his sister sure will. Feel good music, I've been told, man, good for your body, and good for your soul. Let me scream it like, hey, 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 back away. Hey, 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 back your way. Oh no. Sorry, y'all. Y'all see, I've been enjoying the carnival festivities that have arrived and arisen here in New Orleans. What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Gavin Richard Presents Random Topic Sundays here on channel GPU 2786, Gavin Richard on YouTube, as well as Gavin Emmerich 276 via YouTube, via Twitter or Periscope, as it's called. Wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. I need you right now, ladies and gentlemen, to hit that like, share, and subscribe button that goes good with the algorithm, if there's one. Hit the notification bell if you have not, for those that are just coming on this channel, so that way when you subscribe and get the notification bell, you know that I've gone live. I know I'm competing right now with Tariq, and he has his show on, but we're doing the damn thing. So we in this, we're going to go. I will not be long. I think we're going to keep this under an hour. I'm going to get started. Of course, you all can support this channel by donating to the places at the bottom, the ticker, the PayPal, GooglePay, Zelle. All of that is greatly appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. Support this channel. We have about 3 topics we're going to get into tonight. Also, of course, buy our Creole seasoning blend. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Mayonnaise goes great with every dish. This is this is a late show. Shout out to Danielle Meyer, my sister. Get off me. Lamiko. Shout out to Danielle Meyer. So, may as well go pop that coochie to the queen. No, she can pop. Oh. Let me stop. She's watching. She gonna comment. Yeah, Gavin, you trying to put me on blast. Yeah, Gavin, when you gonna pop that question? No, no, we ain't doing that now. Mm, what's up, family? So, pop, nothing, pop, pop, that wasn't maybe pop, that wasn't. All right. Uh, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and get in, ladies and gentlemen, to our topics. But hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man. This has been a trip this whole weekend. Wherever it is in where your neck of the woods, obviously it's normal, but here it's not normal because it's Mardi Gras. So we do things a little different down here. But I want to get into. So we got three topics we're talking about tonight. I'm gonna try and keep it under an hour. We're gonna go. A Hollywood producer has been sentenced for running a prostitution ring with the elite. Also, we're gonna discuss Ebony Magazine's uh, Jonathan Majors cover and how they had him go moist, and Karl Malone in hot water over decades old paternity scandal. So we're going to talk all about that now. All of these damn sex scandals that's going on, man, and these magazines. Let's get this out the way then. I wasn't going to start with, but Ebony Magazine has Jonathan Majors go moist. Now, reason why I have that up here, guys, let me just state this is nothing against Jonathan Majors. I like Jonathan Majors as an actor. I think he was outstanding. He's brother's getting paid. Let's put it that way. He did a movie called The Harder They Fall, which was on Netflix. What he had a leading role, which was pretty good. I enjoyed that. But I also, how I came to know Jonathan Majors was he did a movie also on Netflix called The Five Bloods, and that was the movie that I was introduced to Jonathan Majors on when he played the son of the main character, Delroy Lindo's character, which I thought was a great movie, and also doing Lovecraft Country. Now he has two films coming out this year, two big films. One that was already released this past weekend, Ant Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where he plays the lead villain, Kang the Conqueror, and he's also going to play the lead villain in Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan. So, and brother is 33 years old, uh, great guy. I don't know him personally, but it seems like a good brother. He's from Texas. And my whole thing, and of course, when you get, there has to be something in, especially with Hollywood, where our black men can't even, where black men, of course, if the roles are scarce, for black people in general. They already have to deal with a lot. And it seems, unfortunately, if you want to be the next big thing in Hollywood, somehow or another, there is a ritual that takes place. Now, some people may call that buck breaking. Uh, some people say, and some people may say this is just crazy thinking that way, but I've noticed usually if you just look at all of the roles, and I've thought about this, when I look at Hollywood, black Hollywood actors, maybe with the exception of the old school artists, like, of course, someone like Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman, or Denzel Washington, they didn't play that stuff that we know of. But I noticed all of the big actors, black actors now, you think of The Rock, you think of Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, I look at who else? Will Smith. They are in some way, shape, or form in some movie, even if it were for a few seconds, they put on a dress. Now, Jonathan Majors didn't put on a dress, but y'all, if you've seen this, this is the Ebony Magazine cover. So this is what everybody's been talking about. And Ebony he did a cover for Ebony Magazine, and it's entitled "How Ant-Man and Creed Star Jonathan Majors So this is one of the covers, but the main cover became Hollywood's Most Wanted Actor. Now, this is what they did. Now, ladies, I'm sure love this. Love that. But what really happened when I saw the pictures was that they had Brother Jonathan like this. Now, some people, now I remember, and even though this wasn't my era, I remember Joe Namath used to wear the mink coats on the sideline and look cool and so forth. Is it the same thing? I don't know. But you had, of course, some people defending it, saying, oh, it's just a picture. It's nothing. But a picture is always, the old saying is, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Now, Jonathan, interesting enough, even before this, he was in a movie, a TV series called When We Rise. And Jonathan played a homosexual activist, Ken Jones. And interesting enough, the guy who Michael Williams played that same actor, that same character. Now that was back in 2017. Now I don't. So I'm not gonna say, yeah, Joe Namath did the pantyhose commercial. That's true too. I'll say that. But a lot of people are commenting on it. I asked people in the comment section, do you think, how did you feel about them having Jonathan Majors and Pink Panther pinked out? Only rapper, you know who started that? There was a rapper called, y'all remember the rapper Cameron? He used to rock pink. Back in the day when I was coming up, pink was not something you rocked. Pink wasn't cool to wear. But yeah, Jonathan Majors, he played Ken Jones, who's gay. And Michael Williams, you know, Michael who played Umar from The Wire, and even in Lovecraft Country. Now, interesting enough, Michael Williams was the father of Jonathan Majors' character in Lovecraft Country. And they played the same role on the same TV series. I never saw the series. Never wasn't interested in really seeing it. But they went to, of course, promote this. Is this the only thing, of course, that I care about, should care about? No. Are there other issues? Yes. Now, interesting enough, I want to comment on this there, but the point is that whenever it comes to, if you factor in what else is going on with the black man in this country, the reason why black men are bringing this stuff up is because we see the magazine covers, and it's not just, you know, we saw the magazine cover with Rihanna and her boyfriend. So all of these black men on these magazine covers looking moist as shit or emasculated at best, whatever way you call it. You look at this. I talked about this Thursday. This is the, you know, the art of body language. Cock shame, he's the follower, slouching, soft face, submissive, nurturing feminine man, and she's the strong, dominant, masculine woman. She's the leader. This sends a message. She leads the family. The man has to take a back seat. So the man no longer leads the family. This is what they want the new man. It's not just Black. It's not just black men in it's not just black men, although we get the full brunt of it. But the man in general, as being the head of the household, they don't want that anymore. That's obsolete in their minds. And so now the woman is the leader. The woman takes control because we look at our society now. We have single family homes, more single family households, and they're all run by women. And they're raising boys to be, yeah, and this is no offense to any woman who is, is a single mother. I'm not saying this to say that they can't raise boys, but women don't know what it's like to be a man. That's just true. There are some things that only a man can do, just like there's some things only a woman can do. That's not sexist, it's not hatred, but that's a fact. There's some things my mother could teach me that my father couldn't. And there's some things my father could teach me my mother couldn't. That's why they balance. Yeah, ASAP looked like a punk. And I know they took more than one photo out there on that beach. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I ain't got no napkin on me. So I listened to this. I look at that. You look at the Jonathan Majors cover. So I asked in the poll, what did you think about it? Did you hate it, love it, don't care? I only got one vote. And I'm also looking and noticing Jamel, of course, Black Yoda had to comment. Black Yoda, Jamel Mamie Hill wanted to comment. You know, I've had my issues with Jamel ever since she liked that article calling black men the white supremacists of the black community. And Jamel put it in. Tariq Nasheed was going. He's talking about it on his live now. I was just listening, but oh my God, this motherfucker. Sorry. All right. Jamel, of course, she got the comment. Let me tell you about this guy named Prince. Pretty sure nobody ever looked at him as being emasculated or less than manly. Prince would have done this cover with heels on and pants with the ass out and been sexy at AF. We got to stop worrying about the wrong shit. No, you wrong. Because let's talk about this for a second. First and foremost, Prince was not gay. Let me just say that. Prince, yes, he branded himself as this gender fluid rock star. But you looked at the women. Hold on a second. Let's just do this. If you look at all of the women he was with, his band with Wendy and Lisa. Now they were lesbians, but that's Sheila E. These are all the women he had. Sheila E. Cat Glover. He had Carmen Electra. Sheena Easton. He was engaged to Sheila E. at one point. Apollonia. Vanity. Who was fine? Vanity was just fine. Oh God, I love Vanity. Denise Matthews, who died. All these women were fine, beautiful, and he vetted all of them. Madonna, even Madonna. I think he was dating Madonna at one point. Sheena Easton. Now, this is when Madonna was hot back in the day. Now she's like too hot to try. She's, she old as fuck messing with 20-year-olds. Looking like, she kissed, remember when she kissed Drake and Guy. That was like when Emotep was kissing Evie. Remember on the Mummy? Evie, who knocks in the moon? Drake was a Noxanamun. A Noxanamun. Sheena Easton from Scott. Yeah, she was messing with Prince. This girl, Sinead O'Connor, was in a relationship with Prince. The one that ripped the photo of the Pope up on Saturday Night Live. So they've always had, yeah. So this emasculation of the black man has always been part of it. All these black men that have been in a dress. Black America Web even has a website. Jamie Foxx, yeah. Well, he did Wanda, Miguel Nunez, Chris Tucker when he was in the Fifth Element. Wesley Snipes did it with Tu Wong Fu. Tyler Perry, of course, Arsenio Hall did it with Coming to America. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it was funny. Flip Wilson, yeah, they've all done it, and white actors did it too. Robin Williams did it with Mrs. Doubtfire. But the reality and why it's different, I guess, what most black people see when we look at this stuff is first and foremost, we don't have the ability, number one, or I should say the means. We have the ability, we don't have the means, basically, to control our image. As best we can, we might be able to turn stuff down. But here's the thing: when you turn stuff down, then the opportunities stop coming. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime in the entertainment industry. So you pass that up, you may never get another lifeline again. And so, yes, there is something to be said about this elitist stuff that goes on, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But and this is not a knock against Jonathan Majors because I think the brother, like I said again, he's talented. I don't know him personally. I think he's got a bright future. But are they trying to? Did they emasculate the man? He has one. I think he has a daughter. He's got a bright career ahead of him. So he was born in Lompoc, California, but grew up in Georgetown, Texas, and Cedar Hill, Texas. So, and he's worked real hard at what he's doing, but now he's about to break out, make more money. Yeah, I saw him in Hostiles. I remember he played a corporal. He acted right alongside Christian Bale. And he did the movie Devotion, which is a great movie. But there's an agenda in foot. And let me just say this, and I've talked about Ebony in the past. Ebony magazine is no longer the Ebony of old. Just like Soul Train is not the Soul Train of old, BET is not the network of old. When you watch the Soul Train Awards, that meant something. To hell with a Grammy or an Oscar. You got a Soul Train Award in our community back in the 90s when we were kids. That was big. Same thing with BET Awards. It meant something 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It doesn't exist anymore. Everybody is sold out. So everybody doesn't own this stuff anymore. And that's the importance of owning stuff. But if we want to keep our men, and especially protecting our image as black men, then what we ought to do is create more venues, create a black Hollywood. This is where our entertainers and our athletes who do have serious money, if they are interested in to put money up, create some studios and some television studios, some networks. And I'm not talking about some stuff Tyler Perry does where he's doing everything, but have it organized where you're going to hire more people to work with you so that you're not writing on your own. That's why Tyler Perry stuff is garbage. I'm going to just say it's flat garbage. The writing is bad and the acting is even worse in some of these shows that he's got. Yeah, he's given jobs and so forth, but the quality of it is just not there. So you want to change the image? Let's put our money up. All right. So I'm a kind of hand. I talked about Hollywood elite. So I'm going to talk about these two things. Uh, One thing, a Hollywood producer out in California has been sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for running a prostitution ring. According to LifeSite News, a gentleman by the name of Dylan Jordan, who was the founder of Paper Chase Films and producer of hit films such as The Kindergarten Teacher, which starred Maggie Gyllenhaal, and The Kid, starring Chris Pratt and Ethan Hawke, was sentenced to 5 years in prison for, quote, pimping out women to other producers, actors, and Hollywood elite. Jordan used, according to prosecutors, Paper Chase Films to launder cash from his international prostitution ring for at least 7 years, ranking in an estimated $1.4 million between 2010 and 2017, and serving clients that included the rich and famous. The New York Post noted that Jordan Johns included well known producers who were left unnamed, including one who apparently invested $250,000 with Jordan. U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss stated, as alleged, for years, Dylan Jordan operated an extensive and far reaching prostitution business using a purported event planning company and movie production company to conceal the proceeds he made from exploiting women. Now the party is over and the film is a wrap. Jordan was arrested in San Bernardino County in 2021 and indicted in the Southern District of New York. One of the charges included, here you go, guys, conspiracy to violate the Mann Act, a federal law that criminalizes the transportation of any woman or girl for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery or any other immoral purpose. Now, where did we hear that Mann Act before, ladies and gentlemen? We heard it from the R. Kelly case. R. Kelly being sentenced under this Mann Act. He was sentenced under this. Now, of course, his attorneys have filed an appeal, and we'll see what that happens. But that Mann Act, as you know, with Black history, that was designed to go after this man, the first Black heavyweight champion of the world, Jack Johnson. Long before Muhammad Ali or Joe Louis, there was Jack Johnson. Now, I usually do a Black inventor, but for Black History Month, since I brought him up, we're going to honor Jack Johnson, who held the world heavyweight belt from 1909 to, I believe, 1916. So for 7 years, this man was heavyweight champion of the world and widely regarded by some probably being the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. But unfortunately, he never really got to enjoy his time as heavyweight champion because white America sought a great white hope. White America sought to have Jack Johnson, to have this Negro, I won't use the other word, but they didn't want him to hold this title. And there will be race riots across the country whenever Jack Johnson beat or knocked down a white man. I said he held this from 1909 and 1916. It's actually 1915. And supposedly he took a dive in order to avoid being charged under this Mann Act, avoid the charges, because he was having issues with that and was about to be sentenced. But Jack Johnson died back in 1946 on his way actually to a Joe Louis fight. He was so braggadocious and lived up to the hype and didn't mind beating white opponents. In fact, loading over them, knocking them out, telling them, encouraging them to hit me when they couldn't hurt him, and was married to two white women. In fact, he was so confident in his game. When he was given a speeding ticket by an officer, the officer told him, he asked the officer how much was a speeding ticket. He said it was $50, and he gave the police officer 100, saying, "That's for when I come back." because he was going to speed again. So he played by his own rules. But going back to this producer, this stuff does not surprise me that that happened. I mean, in Hollywood, or as they call it, Hollyweird, we hear often about, and I've heard often at least about these wild sex parties that goes on in Hollywood. Um, Girls doing something strange for a piece of change so that they can get movie roles. Um, I don't know the extent. I initially thought it was, I guess you could say it's sex trafficking in a sense, but under the spirit, I guess, of that law, although it technically is not the crime of sex trafficking, but he ran a prostitution ring uh, and is being sentenced as such. And he's going to do 5 years in prison, which is that's not nothing to them. He'll get out probably with, he probably got credit for time served, I'm sure. And I'm just looking at this. I don't know if these girls were underage, all of them were, but there is something interesting. According to the one statement, Jordan's victims made statements alleging that they were sex trafficked, so yeah, and were forced to take drugs and alcohol against their will. One woman stated that when she was 18, Jordan fed her alcohol, took her to a Las Vegas hotel room, and charged the man 3 grand to have sex with her. The same night, he took her to a party undressed and walked her around on a leash, crawling on her hands and knees and highlighting to party attendants how young she was. Look, she is barely 18, pointing to her bedazzled Hello Kitty phone case she was hanging on to. They say at the party, Jordan handed her off to an unidentified actor who raped her and forced her to have sex with other women over multiple days. See, now they go further and say that, according to prosecutors, Jordan took about 40% of the fees taken from each John. And Jordan escaped a stiffer, and basically what they did a plea deal because the U.S. attorney stated uh, that he had a stiffer sentence by striking a plea. He was facing a stiffer sentence, and the judge even said that if he wanted to, he would have given Jordan a much stiffer sentence. But here's the thing: they have not revealed who these other, like the actor who raped this woman. They never revealed who this was, and they also, or I should say, alleged, and they also say that from the investigative reporting that it is not uncommon for young, vulnerable women to be pimped out. Now, here's my thing, and I am not blaming any woman who has been sexually abused or assaulted. Of course, we don't like anything like that. But if you're saying this went on for days on end, that this happened, and you say someone drug you against your will, how did they get you to do that? I have to ask in the first place. Because if you were 18, legally, I mean, of course, it's still young, it's still a teenager, but you are considered an adult. How do you hang around with this man? How did they get in contact with him? I guess is a question I would like to know. You know, I'll just look at him. It says Bizarro. He looks like a freaking creep. But how did this man get to know any of these women? How did he get there? And I don't doubt that. And were they from out of town? Uh, were they in the industry, the film industry? Where were your parents? Those are questions, yes, I have to ask. And people may call, and again, people can call this victim blaming, but it's not. It's credibility issue. It's anybody can be checked based off their credibility. Now, obviously, he was sentenced. He pled guilty, so He admitted this. Something happened. I'm just trying to put all the puzzle pieces together because we got all basically what we got is the ending with his face and so forth on it, but we don't have the rest of the pieces that get closer to the face. And let's be real, parents do pimp out. And yeah, I wouldn't doubt that some of these kids or these young ladies may have been pimped out by their parents. And I want to tie that into now and hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. We tie it into our next and final topic tonight. Uh, how many of y'all seen this? Hit that like, share, and hit that notification bell, ladies and gentlemen. So we go live and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. How many of y'all have seen this story? It's been trending all this weekend. I saw it on Facebook. I didn't believe it at first, or I didn't know about. I wasn't paying attention to it at first, but my lady brought it back to my attention because I saw this in the meme. But Karl Malone apparently is in hot water over a decades old paternity scandal. Now, we talk about pimping kids out and so forth. I'm going to get to that point. Keep that in mind when I talk about this. Now, I'm careful with my words. I always say alleged with stuff. But apparently, it has been confirmed that Karl Malone, back in the 1980s, who Karl Malone is well, arguably one of the greatest power forwards, if not the greatest power forward of all time in the NBA. Having said all of that, it has come out recently uh, that he had a son who is a football player by the name of Demetrius Bell, back in 1983 when he was 20 years old with a girlfriend who was 13 years old. Her name was Gloria Bell. Now, he was playing at Louisiana Tech University. As you know, Karl Malone is from, I believe, Summerskill, Louisiana, which is up north. Now, I actually met Karl Malone. I shouldn't say I met him because I tried Summerfield, Louisiana. I actually tried to shake hands with him when he was at Southern. I think one of his kids was playing basketball. I was walking up, and he looked at me like I owed him money, basically telling me to get the hell off. Karl Malone, great basketball player, but as a person, he was a piece of shit. I didn't like the man. I thought he was just flat out rude with me. Not nice. Uh, and I get some athletes don't want to be bothered, but I didn't care how he talked. I didn't care for his attitude. It was just ugly. And a lot of those guys are like, a lot of those athletes are like that. But Malone, essentially, it's been confirmed this was his kid. Demetrius Bell is his son. And never really had anything to do with this kid that he fathered with this girl. Now, he didn't denied paternity when it happened. And the family, though, here's the thing. Now, everybody's upset at Karl Malone, and I understand rightfully so. But then I'm looking at this. They say that Karl, and this is Rolling Stone magazine, but they say Karl Malone, when he denied paternity, the family filed suit and they reached a settlement. He was denying paternity, but they declined to press charges, and instead, apparently, they had a settlement with Karl Malone. And Karl Malone also had another paternity suit with Benita Ford over his twin children, and he paid an out-of-court settlement. Now they have the All-Star weekend now, and Malone was a guest judge at All-Star weekend. And people were upset that that he was a judge because the NFL NBA All-Star Weekend is taking place in Salt Lake City, Utah, which of course is where Malone. You saw that picture. He was a member of the Utah Jazz when they made those two NBA championships back to back in '97 and '98. Was a kid watching Michael Jordan and the Bulls take on Karl Malone and John Stockton of the Utah Jazz. So I still remember those games. Those were great times. Now I never knew nothing about this, but just hearing it makes me think Karl Malone was even bigger piece of shit. Now, I don't like cancel culture. I don't like the fact that yes, this was yes, of course it was a 13-year-old. It was wrong. But then I look at it, bear in mind the family, the parents took money. They settled. And Demetrius Bell, and here's the thing too, Demetrius Bell, he has stated as much that he never really had a relationship with his famous father. And the absence broke him, but he didn't meet his dad until I believe he was 17, and Malone didn't want to have a relationship with him until recently. And yeah, Karl Malone, I remember, yeah, he used to hit on Vanessa Bryant. He even said it's like my mother went to a sperm bank. So Malone started playing with the Jazz back in '85, and he ended up playing with the Lakers in '04. I remember when they went to that '03 season, when they went to that NBA Finals after this one season. And he didn't parent the kid. But I can't, I'm not going to say I don't fault him, but the parents in this case, you accepted money after a 20-year-old man impregnated your daughter. Now, I'm going to say this. I think they, of course, because this is, Demetrius has played college football for Northwestern State, which is in Louisiana. So I'm going to say this. They had to have, I'm pretty sure they knew who Karl Malone was there. They knew who Karl Malone was. I believe they took money. They took the money. Let's be real. They took the money. They wanted it. And essentially, as we're talking about with this lifestyle thing, yeah, they pimped it. I believe, I don't know for a fact they pimped it, but I'm going to just say this. I get just from the fact that they took money, gives me the impression that they pimped their kid out. They knew this guy was going to have a career. They probably didn't want to ruin that. And they saw it as a way to get money out of him rather than file criminal charges. Now, I'm just shocked why this is coming out now. I shouldn't say I'm shocked, but why are they talking about this now? This was in the '80s. So even in the 1980s, if something like this broke out, it would be controversial. This would have derailed his career. but the parents didn't do anything. So what we have here, almost similar to R. Kelly situation, is that when something your child was wronged, and let's say they did, your child was wronged, you all decided you want to get money out of it. Now that I gives me the idea. I think they obviously knew him and had a relationship, and he may very well, and believe it or not, I'm gonna just say this is not me defending him, but I've even heard Harvey talk about this stuff too. I don't know what she looked like as a kid. This is not me defending. I want to be clear. A disclaimer. This is not me, Gavin Richard, stating based off how a girl looks that excuses the behavior of the adult. But what I do know, there are girls. I'll just say this much because we all grew up with them, or knew some that were young, that were like 13, 14 years old, and looked like full grown adult women. Let's be real. They got girls out there like that too. I have seen that. I've seen girls and know of girls who used to date older men at that age, and their parents okay it. Do I fault the man if the parents are consenting to this relationship? It doesn't mean I'm cool with it, but it's just like I feel there's blame around. Now, he didn't participate in his child's life, and I'm gonna just say this: cancel culture is a beat because you do something wrong. It doesn't matter how long ago it is. Nowadays, these Gen Zers, they got their iPhones and their Androids, and when they pull something, and they never take it back. But I'm not a big fan. I'm not as much as I think Karl Malone's a jackass. I'll just put it that way. Is this a form of cancel culture? Now we're talking about this now. I'm just wondering why this didn't come up then. I'm also saying it was bad. Obviously, when this comes out, that of course this comes out the week of all. It comes out All Star Week. I don't think it's a surprise that it comes out now. But just I gotta look at even why the parents allowed this. But it's clear money was involved. And here's the thing, especially with when I tie that in with what I was talking about the Jordan Dillon guy your and with your yeah, and that's another thing. They gotta have their N word of the month. So Michael Jordan better be careful because his birthday just passed. They might find something on Mike. I mean, they've already tried going at Michael with his gambling addiction, but no black man is safe from a sexual assault allegation. And I can't say that Karl Malone is a victim of anything because that was a girl he was messing with. I'm not defending it, but I got to look at the fact that the parents didn't press charges and settled this. When I look at that, it's mean like they were okay with it. That's just my opinion. I'm just looking at it like, so you settled a paternity suit and just took money? They knew his career was going to take off. I mean, you were damn near a sophomore in college, man. I know it was the '80s, different time, but still, even with that, that was controversial. It's like Jerry Lee Lewis and marrying his cousin. But I'm not a fan of, like I said, I'm not a fan of Karl Malone anyway. So I'm not going to even defend him. I'm not going to just, I'm not going to just get on and say that they're coming at him. wrongfully, but at the same time, I don't believe in just canceling the man off outright. Should he have been at the NBA All-Star Weekend games? I mean, nobody brought it up then when he was making millions of dollars in his career. It's just like now we want to talk about it. What's the purpose of this? He's largely out of the limelight. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. We just had 56 minutes. I said it wasn't gonna be a long show. So, what do y'all think? Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Also, please hit that notification bell. Get the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby on Amazon Kindle. Also, you can donate to the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo to support our channel as we go live. Yeah, it's just like I feel nothing too. I mean, plus he's an asshole. You should have shook my hand. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Order you some Nornie's Creole seasoning blend. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nornie's goes great with every dish. And of course, buy video sold and got to get on up on iTunes, ladies and gentlemen. Since we have gotten on down, it's now time to get on up. I will see you all probably on Fat Tuesday. Y'all enjoy. I'll holla. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat. Cause on the dance floor is where we'll live. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop, I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get all up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor,
baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Some people said, I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to say that, let me come on screen right quick. Show is over. However, I'm just looking at the votes. 10 people, 11 votes say they hated 11 votes are in. 82% of you said you hated the cover. 18% said don't care. So nobody loved it. All right. Well, I'll be back Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, have a good weekend. Well, excuse me, have a good week. Weekend's over. But our weekend is party hardy or naughty.